First in high definition. Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News Today at 5.
A local community taking action to turn tables on criminals targeting their neighborhood. How you can learn a lot from their efforts.
A new type of challenge course will have you flying over Myrtle Beach. I'll have more on all the activities your family can enjoy.
Plus, 2 road projects will slow you down out there this morning, the areas you'll want to avoid.
But there certainly is no avoiding those freezing temperatures outside right now.
Your first alert forecast begins right now.
That's right. Temperatures have dropped big time since yesterday. 30 in Myrtle Beach right now, in Conway, 29 in Florence, and 30 in Darlington. So everybody pretty much at or below freezing. I think the roads for the most part should be dry, so no issues. However, if it's on some of those secondary roads you do happen to see what looks to be a wet spot, just to be safe, you should treat it as if it is black ice. But again, most of those roads should be dry. I think the biggest issue for this morning commute is going to be dense fog. Everyone that got the winter weather yesterday is now dealing with fog. Notice the Grand Strand is looking just fine, but across the PD, Florence, Darlington, only a quarter of a mile visibility, just as bad in Bennettsville. This is what it looks like in downtown Florence. So this is going to slow you down this morning. We'll check in with Brittany at 5:30 and see how roads are looking then.
All right. Thank you, Marla. And folks, we want to remind you about some changes in school schedules because of the freezing rain we had. Marlboro County schools will be closed today. Officials say it's because there's still a lot of power outages across the county, including one of the schools. For those of you in Robeson County, the schools will be on a 2-hour delay for both students and staff. Neighborhoods in the city of Myrtle Beach are cleaning up their act. Residents are partnering with police to protect their streets. Katrina Helmer joins us live in the studio. Katrina, one neighborhood watch group in particular is seeing major success.
Well, I sat down with the coordinator for the South Myrtle Beach Neighborhood Watch Group. He tells me today their neighborhood is very safe, but 4 years ago, that was not the case. This neighborhood extends from 19th Avenue South to 29th Avenue South, in between Ocean Boulevard and Kings Highway. There are more than 300 households in this area, along with hotels and businesses. Back in 2011, it finally hit a breaking point. They had a serious crime problem. Craig Teller, a resident and now Watch Group coordinator, tells me not a day went by when they didn't have some sort of significant crime. And one night they had 7 burglaries in one neighborhood. People felt there was a need to do something, but they weren't quite sure what to do. So they reached out to the crime prevention officer for the city, and he recommended forming a neighborhood watch program. In 4 years, they've grown from just a few people being involved to 250 households and businesses participating. Craig says he was initially skeptical of the idea, but they're all now believers because it's made a world of a difference.
The prostitutes that we had on the street, they were disappearing, they were going elsewhere. The panhandlers, they disappeared. Everything improved. Car break-ins, we'd have 1 or 2 a day. We hardly have any now down here.
This group does not go out driving through the neighborhood or on patrol. The police department does not recommend they take actual policing into their own hands. Reporting live in the studio, Katrina Helmer, WMBF News.
Katrina, thank you for that. A new family adventure park heading our way. It promises to bring a one-of-a-kind experience to downtown Myrtle Beach. Jenna DeAngelis is live this morning from the site of Radical Ropes along South Kings Highway. So, Jenna, when can we start swinging from those ropes?
David, I'm told Radical Ropes will open the 1st of June. Now, to give you an idea of where it's located, if you head north on Kings Highway and look to your right, you'll see a mini golf course and this Hampton Inn billboard. It'll be right among all of these trees.
Myrtle Beach has zip lines, but it does not have a ropes challenge course.
But in a few months, it will. Here's an idea of what Radical Ropes Adventure Park will look like. These pictures are directly from the architect, given to us by the city of Myrtle Beach. I'm told what you'll see is towers as high as the trees with extreme zip lines at 3 different levels.
And some brave souls will go up 75 feet, and they call that a canopy tour because they'll be literally on top of the tops of these trees where they can see the ocean as they make their way through different elements, challenge elements on the ropes course.
The course will sit among these trees on Kings Highway between 17th and 19th Avenue South. It'll take more than 2.5 hours to complete the adventure tour.
The purpose of this is a challenge course. It's team building. It's something the entire family can do.
Those elements also welcome organizations from businesses to school groups. There will be other activities for all ages to enjoy, including Kid Zips for younger children. Property owner Buddy Lindsay says plans also include revamping the existing golf course to add a 36-hole mini golf course.
Everybody's children these days, and a lot of adults, spend half their life facing their iPads and their iPhones. This is Myrtle Beach's natural high.
This will be the first Radical Ropes to exist, which means another draw to our area. Now coming up, how this is all part of the revitalization plan of the South End. Reporting live in Myrtle Beach, Jenna DeAngelis, WMBF News.
Thanks, Jenna. Well, this just in, Horry County Fire Rescue is responding to a fire at New South Lumber Company right now. According to Justin Givens with Horry County Fire Rescue, a second ladder truck is being requested. No other details have been given, but I am staying on top of it for you this morning. David and Theo.
All right, thank you, Mandy. 5:05 is your time. 2 traffic alerts for you this morning. The SC31 expansion project will impact traffic on Peachtree Road from 9 this morning until about noon. Crews will be moving equipment across the road. Also starting today, the right shoulder of the westbound lane on Glens Bay Road from US 17 Business to Evergreen Circle will be closed for utility relocation work. That work is expected to last through Friday. If you want to avoid delays, remember to avoid these areas. The International Student Outreach Program is holding a meeting this morning at 9 a.m. All Grand Strand employers, business owners, student sponsors, and volunteers are welcome. It's at the Sheraton Myrtle Beach Convention Center Hotel. The goal is to help international students live and work successfully in the Myrtle Beach area this spring and summer. You'll get details about J-1 visas, the outreach program, and safety.
Just about 5:07 on this Wednesday, you have a chance to learn a lot more about that Cherry Grove Canal dredging project in North Myrtle Beach. A special called City Council meeting will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. It'll be at City Hall. The council is going to give a presentation of their plan for the proposed $13 million project. You can then give your thoughts on it. Final vote expected early in the spring. Increasing the millage rate from 10 to 14 in Murrells Inlet Garden City Fire District, getting more support now. State Representative Stephen Goldfinch is asking for your vote as a yes on March 17th. Goldfinch, who is from Murrells Inlet, endorsed the referendum yesterday. The increase would allow for additional fire protection and to build a new station in the Burgess area. Officials worry they won't be able to fund all of their services without the increase. Just last week, though, the department received an improved ISO rating, which will lower your homeowner's insurance rates, but officials say without the millage increase, that level of service cannot be maintained. Today, the North Myrtle Beach Public Safety Department holding a special event for the city's retiring chief. The drop-in event for Chief Tom Barstow is from 2 until 4 p.m. at the Surf Club in North Myrtle Beach. The chief's last day on the job is this coming Friday. He first took on the position as the city's 4th fire chief in 1996, but has now been protecting our community with the department for some 34 years. The chief and his wife will be retiring to a home they purchased in the North Carolina mountains.
A 19-year-old charged with murder in Horry County has been granted an $80,000 bond. DeTerrace Bellamy went before a judge yesterday. He's one of 4 suspects charged in connection to the murder of Deshaundre Sampson. You'll remember that police found Sampson's body last November at an abandoned home after getting a tip. Investigators say he was shot many times and believe his body was dumped there. 16-year-old Emerika Jackson has also been charged with murder in this case. Jackson's bond was denied back in December. 18-year-old Michael Forty and 19-year-old Brittany Woody have also been charged with obstruction of justice in the murder investigation. Police say they provided transportation and shelter to Jackson and Bellamy. A former cast member of Welcome to Myrtle Manor has been sentenced to 3 years of probation. Taylor Burt pled guilty to assault and battery before a judge. He had been charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor under the age of 16 years old, but pleaded guilty to the lesser charge. Part of that probation includes no positive tests for drugs and not having any direct or indirect contact with the victim or her family. If Burt violates that probation, he will be sent to prison.
We also now know the name of the person found dead behind a backhoe Monday in Aynor. The Horry County coroner has identified that man as 58-year-old Ray Bartley from Fairmont, North Carolina. The coroner says Bartley was crushed but has not released whether or not that injury actually came from the backhoe. Vice President Joe Biden will begin a two-day stop here in South Carolina today. He'll visit the Port of Charleston at 10 o'clock this morning to talk about the importance of investing in infrastructure. Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx will join Mr. Biden. The pair also have planned visits to Columbia and North Carolina. We'll have a live report on more of what's expected from Mr. Biden at 6 a.m. And the debate for closing South Carolina State University for a year has been delayed. A budget clause was not made clear during a meeting of the House Ways and Means Committee, despite the fact that lawmakers were prepared to offer amendments to keep the university open. Supporters were also at that meeting.
Well, welcome to the legislative process. Nothing ever goes as you expect it to go, and things tend to move slowly around here, and they get changed around at the last moment. But certainly, supporters from SC State being here, that doesn't hurt their cause. I think that helps out.
The committee meets again after the legislative session today, but it's not a guarantee that they will bring up the clause that could allow the school to stay open. A constitutional war has the president battling both Congress and states for control, the impact it's having on our borders. Straight ahead.
Plus, expect plenty of sun today, but I'll let you know why you shouldn't get too excited in your first alert forecast.